Hey everybody, Blaine Austin here with Sewing Machines Plus. Welcome to our very first Facebook Live show. And this is going to be something we're going to be doing every 2 weeks. So we welcome everybody aboard. And we're so excited today. We're going to talk about some products. We're going to talk a little bit about Angela Wolf is our guest today. And I'm sure many of y'all know Angela. She is just an unbelievable person. And I got to know Angela way back, I think it was probably in 2013. And it was a funny thing, I'd started doing these big events and we were always looking for educators to come in and help us with these events. And so I just happened to be looking on YouTube and ran across a It's So Easy TV video. And so I saw Angela on there and I was just so impressed with her. So I was like, I've got to figure out how to get a hold of this girl. So I did a little research and found an email address and emailed her and kind of told her, that we were looking for somebody to do some events with us. And matter of fact, she emailed me right back, gave me a phone number. I called her, we talked on the phone, and lo and behold, probably within a month or two, she was at one of my first events. And we did a lot of events after that together and become really good friends. And so it's been a really unique way of meeting somebody. And but she has done so much for the sewing industry and different things and so much for us. So that was one of the things I was like, our very first show, I really want to talk to Angela and actually just get to know her a little bit more for some of our customers don't know some of the things I know. And so anyway, I'd like to welcome Angela in, and hopefully we have her. Angela, do you hear us?
Hi, I hear you great, Blaine.
Hey, how are you today?
Very good. Thank you for having me as your first guest on your show. I'm so excited for this show.
Well, welcome. I understand that you just flew in last night back from your fishing trip in Florida. So how did that go?
It went well. A little R&R and some fishing, and no matter what, I was going to be back for the show today. So here I am.
Great, man. We're glad you made it. So first things up, we need to settle some business, you and I. Mm-hmm. So okay. So everybody will just know, Angela has her own Facebook show, and a live Facebook show that you do every week on Wednesday, and we've made several appearances on there and given some things away. And so the last show that you had was a couple weeks ago, I think, or maybe a week ago. And we were talking about the Super Bowl. And so basically I said, we have to pick who the Super Bowl winner is. And then we have to figure out who the winner between you and I were, our picks on our show. And the loser has to buy the winner a milkshake. So you're not a big football fan, but you just went strictly on colors. And both teams are very similar colors, by the way.
The Wolfpack told me to not trust your color choices.
Well, that is true. I kind of proved that I'm not a very good judge of colors. Well, that's another story. So anyway, you picked the San Francisco 49ers, and I picked the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Kansas City Chiefs won. So I did win our pick, and so you will owe me a milkshake. So the next time we see each other, I'm going to be expecting a big strawberry milkshake.
So I owe you a milkshake, and I owe Win a bottle of wine because he's the one that always picks the colors. And I said, hey, I picked for you. I picked red and gold. He goes, red and gold isn't going to win. It's going to be red and white. So now I lost to two people. That's all right. I owe you.
In technically, they're not just red and white. They kind of are red, white, and kind of yellow. So it was almost kind of two colors that are very similar. So, well, anyway, this morning we wanted to talk to you and talk to and let our viewers know a little bit about you, because not a lot of people, they know who you are, they know what you're doing now, but what we wanted to know is how did you get started in sewing? When did you start sewing?
Sewing. I started sewing when I was 4 or 5. I made this little red bonnet with my mom, and I think the second outfit I made was when I was like 12. Those are the first two things, and I was hooked ever since. So that's how I started sewing, and it wasn't very good. But I started sewing as a kid. It was just a natural gift I learned from my mom, and sewed all through high school, all through college, but just for fun, my own things. That's pretty much when I started sewing.
So did you, like when you were in school, did you have any home ec classes or anything like that?
Oh gosh, I shouldn't say this, but I thought those were really boring. So I took woodworking, engineering, and I was an athlete. I never sewed. I never took any of those classes.
Oh, I remember that. That was one of the things that you and I had common was you were, I know that we both ran track and you were like the only girl on the varsity boys soccer team in high school. Isn't that right?
That's true. We lived in Illinois where I played soccer. I was on the traveling league and everything. We moved to North Carolina my freshman year, and it said soccer tryouts, and I showed up, and I'm like, Mom, there's all these guys here. It must be the wrong field. So he asked the coach, "Where are the girls' team?" And he said, "We don't have a girls' team." And I'm just mortified. And he said, "Well, come and try out." And I said, "Are you kidding?" He said, "No, what difference does it make?" So I tried out and I made it, and I kind of broke the mold. But my senior year, they finally had a girls' team. But I had a lot of fun.
So, that's so funny. You were talking about you did woodworking and you were engineering and things. And I remember one time you told me that you were a real tomboy. And I just found that so hard to believe because, I mean, like this, very pretty, very popular sewer. And now you're telling us you're a tomboy. So
yeah.
I was like, I don't understand that.
There's even the first outfit I ever made, I think I was 10 or 11. It was like this green skirt and this green vest. And that's the only photo I have of it. And if you look next to it, there's my big wheel and my bike. I don't even know why I made a skirt. It's probably the only thing they offered me. But that was like, it hung in the closet forever after I made it.
So that's a big transition to go from being a tomboy to what you're doing now. So how did you, I know you went to college. What did you get your degree in college in?
I actually went thinking engineering minded, and then college was very boring as well. I really just wanted to start a business. So I said, what can I graduate with a degree that my dad will like and I can get out of here as fast as possible? And they said business. So I graduated with a business degree, and my college graduation gift was a sewing machine and a serger. And I started my business pretty much a few months out of college.
Oh, that's crazy. So when you first started, so what kind of business did you do? I mean, was it like a retail business or what did you do?
When I first started, first of all, when I went to college, I wasn't studying fashion design. So I first had to study, we call Win the CEO still, because he carries everything out. He used to carry all my books, and I would study all weekend, and then I would test this. So I started a custom apparel business. I had a fashion show, invited everyone I knew that, any woman in town, and offered free wine. I figured that'll get them there. And that was in about 1994. And people bought what I had there, and then that launched my custom apparel business. And I ran that for about 20 years, designing high-end clothing for women all over the world.
Oh, wow. So I know there was like a little turning point in your career, probably not long after that. And I think it's when you maybe got into there was something, I remember you telling me one time that you entered some sort of contest that kind of really launched your career.
Yeah, what actually kind of twisted my career. So I started my business in 94, and then in 2008, I think that was about the year, I entered a fashion design contest, and it was similar to one episode of Passion for Fashion. Well, it was called Passion for Fashion. It's one episode of, oh gosh, I just lost the name, Project Runway. And so you are given a project and you have to sew live for 2 days in front of everyone, and then there's a runway show. And I won that. And that wasn't really the turning point, but about a year later is when I met the producer to the TV show for It's So Easy, Kathy. She said, "Hey, I'm looking for a host for It's So Easy." And I thought it was a quilting show. And I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to be your fan because I just do all garments." And she said, "No, I want fashion sewing." And so about 2009, I got the position on It's So Easy, and that kind of changed. I turned the entire business into the sewing for the sewing community.
Well, see, that's how I actually discovered you was I was looking for people to help me with events and bringing educators in. And I don't even know if I ever told you the whole story, but I'd been looking and searching on YouTube, and I just ran across this video of you on It's So Easy. And I was like, man,
never told me that.
yeah, I said, this girl has really got charisma. I love your teaching style. And I said, she would be so good at events. But I don't know if you remember how you and I even met, but I'd reached out to you through an email. I finally found your email address and told you what my intentions. You emailed me back. Like, I was so impressed because it was like 2 minutes. I got an email right back from your phone number, and you just said, call me. So we talked that day, and just, it was like, you know, we made a deal, and you came to one of my events like a month or two after that. And then we started doing events after that. And I mean, for quite a while. And that was back, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was in 2013.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And, you know, I was intrigued because I had started teaching shortly after I started It's So Easy. I still ran my custom apparel business. And then people are emailing me saying, I don't want to buy your outfit, I want to make it. And so that's when I started teaching and came up with the patterns. But when I started teaching, I thought, I don't know if I could do this. And so I started teaching, and then I won like best instructor in 2012. And I thought, this is nuts. I guess I have a knack for it, or at least I make people laugh. So and I love it. I love the teaching now. And that's all I do, teaching and patterns.
So when did you become like involved with Brother directly?
Well, Brother's the sponsor of It's So Easy TV shows. So when I first started on the show, that was when June Mellinger was there. We hit it off really well. And so I was able to, work on these beautiful machines that are on set. And I all of a sudden became in love with embroidery, partly because of your event. And then getting to play on some of these wonderful machines. So that kind of turned the tables. And then they hired me to design some of the outfits that were on the cover of the Quattro and some of their older machines. So I've been with them for a long time. The famous jeans, the embroidered jeans, that's always a joke, but not a joke, but it was my first embroidery project ever. 3 hoopings down each leg, 29 hours of embroidery. I was always a go-getter, but that was my first time working with them. And then the relationship just grew. And when you live and breathe the brand, you're really grateful when they want to work with you too.
That's awesome. Hey, so I told you, I think on your show a couple weeks ago that I was going to do some digging on you. And
oh, no.
I found a photo.
Uh-oh.
I want to see if we can show this. David, can we pull that photo up I found of Angela? You got to explain this photo to me.
Oh, no.
And by the way, I want to tell everybody out there, if y'all have any questions for Angela, be sure just to go ahead and ask and make comments. Now, look at this photo, Angela. Tell me a little bit about this photo.
Okay, that is really the official photo of my first little hat that I sewed. It's only like a triangle, but I remember saying, Mom, I want to use some of your fabric and sew. And that's when I was about 5 or 4, something like that. And she had one of those sewing machines that was one of those old singers that would sew your arm off. And she said, now I have to help you. So I was able to do the little rolled hem. And I just love that thing. I was so excited. So that was officially my first sewing project.
That is awesome. So there you have it, everybody. Angela, her very first project. I can't tell you how I found that, so I'm not going to reveal my source.
That's hilarious.
So if anybody has any questions, make sure that y'all ask, or if you have any comments. And also, we're going to give some stuff away today too, Angela. You're going to give a few things away. And
Yep.
if you want to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to basically, anybody that makes a comment, we're going to pull the names right from people who make comments. So what are some things you're going to give away today?
Well, when you come on my show, the Wolfpack just loves when you're on there, and you give away such great gifts. So I couldn't let them down in the reverse. So somebody's going to win a 1-year membership to my Fashion Sewing Club, which is something new that started. We're just ready to celebrate our 1-year anniversary on that. And I'm going to offer a digital pattern of somebody's choice. So they could be in any part of the world for either of those. And I'm also going to give away, since we've been talking about business, one of my books, which is How to Start Your Own Fashion Design Business from Home. It's basically how to start a home sewing business of any sort. I don't really include a lot of embroidery because that was written in 2013, but anything else for business, it's a great source. So I'm going to give those away. And of course, my Taylor's Clapper that I used to always give away at your events, Blaine, live via Skype.
I'll never forget the first time you told me you were going to give a clapper away. I was thinking that thing on TV, clap on, clap off. I didn't know what a clapper was.
That is so true.
So I'm presuming you're going to autograph the clapper and you're going to autograph your book too?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So speaking of your design, your club that you have, your sewing club, could you kind of explain a little bit about your club and what they do and how people can get involved with that?
Yeah, so the Fashion Sewing Club I started obviously last February, but it started from the concept of teaching online classes. I taught classes. I was one of the first instructors on Craftsy before NBC bought it out. And before NBC bought it out, I had over 100,000 students all over the world. And I thought, people like taking classes from the comfort of their home. Then I started doing a few of my own classes. Well, the Fashion Sewing Club came about because there's so many people that want to learn how to sew or learn how to fit, and to be able to have an interaction instead of you just taking a class and I'm just telling you what to do. So the main part of the Fashion Sewing Club is once a week we have a live Q&A that members, we join this. If it's in the evening, we call it Sew and Sip, and if it's during the day, I guess it could still be Sew and Sip because there's people from all over the world, but I'm drinking coffee. I don't know what they're drinking, but they can come on the screen and I can interact with them, and it becomes a really great community to learn how to sew and inspire everybody else to sew.
That's awesome. I knew that thing has really gotten popular, and I was kind of wanting to know a little bit more about that. Now, I know that you also hold some certifications, which, when I was on your show the last time, you had your guests that you had on there also were some ladies that were all across the world that are involved in some of these same certifications. Now, tell me a little bit about the certifications that you have, and then, how somebody else that's out there listening, what they could do to help if they're wanting to get in a business like what you did with alterations and things.
Yeah, so I have all those listed in my book as well. For those, by the way, the book has been out for a while. You can get it on Amazon, Kindle, but everyone says that when they get it on Kindle, they wish they would have had the paper because there's so many sources, and the certification is one of them. First of all, Association of Sewing and Design Professionals is an organization I joined many, many years ago, and it helped because everybody in there either did alterations or custom clothing. So you were able to have somebody with the same like-minded business mind to bounce things off of. And then for those that are going further, I'm on the board of the ladies that you met. We're all on a board that's for, it's called MS, I always get it. It's Master and Sewing Design Professional and also Alteration Professionals. It's just if you want to when you're in a sewing business, Blaine, not if you own a business that sells sewing machines, but when you sew, for some reason, there was always this, where you could only charge so much, and it wasn't really, you're just a sewer type of thing. And so that's always ingrained if you didn't go to school for fashion design. So these certifications make you, I would say, more confident to charge what you should be charging. I mean, it took me a lot of years, 3 burnout stages. And then my husband said, you have got to double your prices. And I said, I'm going to lose some of my customers. He goes, you can't keep up anyways. What difference does it make? So it kind of helps you do that if you don't have a win around to tell you that.
Okay. So I know that, you've progressed through your career in how you got started and the whole brother connection. So tell me a little bit about the brother machines. Now, we're a big brother dealer, and we do a lot of brother events and everything. But if somebody was looking, I know that you've been big on sergers. So if somebody was looking for a really good brother serger, which one would you think that you would pick for a good, serger for somebody?
Well, the 1034D is a great machine. I think that's the numbers, 1034, something like that. Is that, better about the numbers on the machines, but it is a great machine. I've used it for years, and it comes with different feet. Now, the big thing is, and I actually have 2 serging classes on Craftsy that are still very popular, where I show you how to use all these feet. And I remember my first serger, now you'll get a kick out of this. It was for my college graduation. It didn't come, the manual was 3 pages. It was not cool. But we're talking a long time ago. And I came with white thread. Everything I serged was with white thread. And then when the looper ran out, I took it back to the store and I asked for a new serger with black thread because there was no way I was going to thread that thing. I've come a long way. So, but that 1034D, it is quality. It has different feet that come with it. You can do the blind hem. There's so many things. And I always encourage people, once you get a sewing machine, get a serger because it just makes your sewing look so much more professional. You can finish your seams. There's just a lot it can do, a lot more than you actually even know. So, and I have a ton of free YouTube videos if you get it.
Yeah, I knew you loved it. Hey, David, is there a way that we can pull that serger up on the screen for everybody to see? Right there. Okay. So the 1034, I know that's one of our big sellers. We sell a ton of the 1034s online. And I know that you've always been, you've actually taught a class, or at one of our events, you did a serger event for me. We highlighted one of the sergers. So I remember that. And I knew that you were big on the serger. Now, like if somebody was trying to get into embroidery, what would be a good, entry level? I'm not even going to say entry level, just a great machine, embroidery machine that they could get into, that they could do a lot of different things.
Well, there's a couple. Trying to think. Let's see. The PE, I'm always bad at the numbers, but I think it's the 800. It has a 5x7 hoop, which
that's the PE 800 is the 5x7.
Okay, so I encourage something like that because even I have a new embroidery collection with Diamond. I have another one coming out this summer, and I made sure that everything could fit in a 4x4 hoop, but you can't get a lot in there. So the 5x7, at least you can get that's why the hoop size is all that matters on that. So, there's a lot of other features that has, but something bigger than a 4x4. And that's a great beginner embroidery machine too. Easy to use. I have had the opportunity of testing so many of Brother machines, from the very basic all the way up to the Luminaire. And that's one of the perks of my jobs. But if there's something I don't like or something that I wish would change, I let them know. There never really is that much though. They really gotten it down pat, and they're quality machines. And for full disclosure,
one of the things I get asked a lot, like at events, they'll ask me to, well, hey, I'm looking for an embroidery machine, which one should I buy? And, I've always asked them, well, what are you wanting to embroidery? And that's that hoop, that embroidery area to me has always been one of the important things. And I don't know, what's your feelings about when somebody asks you that? What do you try to ask them to help them?
Well, exactly what you just said. And in fact, we have chats about this quite often on my live show. And it's definitely, even Susie, I can see Susie saying, definitely don't go smaller than a 5x7 hoop. So that's always the thing. Go for as big of a hoop as you can afford, because we call it hoop envy. Don't take that the wrong way, but it's like if you have too small of a hoop, you're limited in what designs you can have. It doesn't mean you always have to use the biggest hoop. I do that because I like to embroider a whole sleeve, but you don't have to. That's not practical for a lot of people. So go for as big of a hoop as you can afford, because then you won't regret it later. Because once you start, it's addictive. Like I said, I would have embroidered my cat, but he's dead. Not because of that, but he's dead. He was 22.
That's one of the things, for Christmas this year, we bought my sister Robin, my mother and my other sister, and me and Michelle, we all chipped in and bought my sister Robin a brother, one of those 5, I think it's I can't remember now the number on it, but it was the little 4x4 Disney. I think it's the 550D.
I don't remember the number, but that's a great machine, by the way. And it has the Disney designs on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's got the Disney designs built in. And I was kind of, we were kind of going back and forth which one to get her, because then I thought, well, maybe, she ought to get a 5x7. But then I thought, well, the little 4x4, what she was wanting to do was make little logos and things for some of her grandkids. So that was kind of one of the things we thought would be kind of cool, that she could be able to do that with that machine and not get something, that we would have to spend more money, and also that it might be a little bit more complicated for her. So, we love that little machine too, because I was looking at, what we sold the most of, and we sell so many of those 550s and the 800s. So I've just never really thought about that, that embroidery area being so important, but it is. If you're wanting to do I mean, that basically makes your decision of what you're wanting to do on a embroidery machine.
Right. It really does. And you know what? If you say, you know what, I don't even know if I like embroidery, and you start with a 4x4 hoop, you might be totally fine with that. I'm just saying, if you're really looking to get into it, then maybe look a little bit higher, like the PE. They were just talking about. Was it the 800, or I'm bad at numbers. I think it's the PE, the one you have up on the screen there. And that one is really a good machine.
Yeah, the 800. Yeah, that's one of our big sellers online. And so, by the way, what we're going to do.
I have one more for you, though, Blaine, because for those that decide to go to one of your dealers, because you don't sell these online, I've been showing. Now, everyone has seen that I've been watching, using the Luminaire, which is definitely the creme de la creme. But a lot of people said it was a lot of their price point. That's the Stellaire is really a great embroidery machine, and it has an app. It's so easy to use. I'm actually doing a feature video for, I don't know if it comes out tomorrow or next Friday, to show how to embroider with the app. Now that's very cool. And I think at first people hear app and they think, oh my gosh, it's so easy to use. So that's one that if they go to visit your store, they might like that one too.
So what we're going to do to everybody who's watching this, for those two machines that you picked out, in particular the 1034D Serger and then the PE800 embroidery machine, we're going to extend a coupon code to anybody that's on our live show today, so they can actually call our 1-800 number and talk to one of our sales reps and order it, or they can just go online and use the code. But we're going to give a coupon code that they get 10% off those two machines.
That's awesome.
And we're going to run that all the way until, I think, for almost like over a week. So almost 2 weeks, we're going to run that. They'll have great opportunity. So if anybody's looking for one of those machines or a gift or something, this will be a great opportunity for them to get some savings on a great machine.
We all love coupon codes. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that. I'm laughing.
Hey, and so, something else that we decided to do today, not let you give everything away. We're going to give something away too. And so I wanted to show everybody, I have a Madeira thread pack that I want to give away. And I don't really know what the retail value of this thing is, but it can't be cheap because there is a ton of thread in this thing. And so we're going to give that away to somebody who makes a comment today as well at the end of the show. And so anyway, I didn't want you to have to give all your stuff away. I wanted to give something away too again.
Okay, sounds good. That's going to be a great package.
So when you're ready, are you ready to give something away yet?
Sure. Let me go. I have my winter boots on because we have about 5 inches of snow. But let me go grab my book.
Okay. So while Angela's running and getting that, Roger, do you have a winner for us yet?
Yes, we do, Blaine.
Awesome. Roger's going to come in and hand me the winner. And okay. We have a winner, everybody. Can y'all see that?
All right. So which one are you giving away
Probably
first?
Not. I can barely see it here, so I know y'all can't see it. I have a winner already.
Okay, so should we start? What should we start with? Would you like to start with the book?
Do the book?
How to start a home-based fashion design business. I have to tell you, it's all business. I named the squirrels in the backyard, all right? I'm never writing another business book as long as I live. But there's a lot of good contact in there.
So are you going to autograph it personally to whoever the winner is?
I am. And I just thought of something. What's the coupon code you have on your site?
The coupon code that we're going to give everybody to get the 10% off those two machines is going to be Whohl 2020.
Okay, so anybody who doesn't win the book that would like this book, I'll use the same coupon code for the Whohl 2020, and I will personally sign it. But I'm personally signing and sending this to the lucky winner that's in your hand.
Okay, so our lucky winner is from Peoria, Illinois.
Hey, I went to college somewhere down there, Bloomington Normal.
It's Celeste. I think is it Whohl? Whohl?
Oh, Celeste. She's
Whohl, W-O-H-L. Celeste, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Congratulations. She is part
Celeste
of the
still on here?
I think I just saw a comment from her a few minutes ago. So Congrats, Celeste. All right.
All right, so what's the next thing we're going to give away? Uh-oh.
Clapper. It comes
I know what that is.
All right. Now, the person that wins the Taylor's Clapper.
See, I can never get that to turn my lights on or off, though, Angie.
You're so funny. I will sign this too, and if for some reason the person already has the Taylor's Clapper and they want the mini clapper, I'll give them the mini clapper.
Okay, that's awesome.
All right, here we go.
So tell everybody, if they were like me, when you first started talking about the clapper, I just kind of assumed it was the clapper that you see on TV. I had no idea, and I didn't want to like ask a question because I thought I'd be like, you're going to go, are you stupid? You don't know what a clapper is? So I never really asked. And then I saw you, you came to one of my events and we gave some away. And I still saw this thing. I had no idea. I thought it was a doorstop. I didn't know any idea what this thing was. It was a piece of wood. I'm like, what is this?
A doorstop.
Please tell everybody what a clapper is if you don't know, because I didn't know. And now I do.
Okay. So the clapper it's an old tape. I didn't invent it, but I used mine out of hard maple because I tested a whole bunch of different wood products that would give the best crease. So when you're turning up a hem, or okay, Blaine, that nice crease you get on pants that the dry cleaner has? You give your pant a little bit of steam and you hold this in place. You don't hit it. You just like steam and hold, and it gives a beautiful crease for your garments, your hems, your seams. Quilting, it doesn't matter. Sewing, you got to have one.
So see, now everybody else knows. And I never had heard that term before at all and knew what that was until you told me.
Sandy said it's the prettiest doorstop ever.
Prettiest doorstop. All right. So is anybody else out there, did y'all just learn something? I just want to know if I was the only one in the world that didn't know what a clapper was.
Well, don't feel bad. When I went to the guy that when I was testing the reason that I had to even start making these is because of the It's So Easy TV show. My clapper was so old, and the company that had originally made them didn't have them anymore. So my producer said, that thing is gross. You have to go get a new one. So I went and tested a whole bunch of different wood. And when I walked into them, I said, I need a clapper. He's like, yeah, same thing you said. I don't do electric. I go, it's not. So we went through a whole training phase.
Hey, Jan O'Malley says, I love my clapper. Didn't know there is I can't read the rest.
Oh, a mini. There is a mini. It's about half this size.
Oh, mini.
Yeah. So if somebody already has this one, you can pick the mini. The mini one's in the back there. It was for travel because everybody already had one of these, but it's over £1. And if you want a little one to go traveling, like if you're going to a sewing class or something, or maybe a virtual class, anything like that, you can have that mini clapper.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great idea. All right. So what else do we going to give away you wanted to give away the membership?
Sure. Which one you want to go next for?
It doesn't matter. You can give anything you want away.
I'm going to give the clapper away next.
You want to do the clapper?
Yep. Maxie or me, whichever one you want.
Roger, I need another winner.
Here you go, Wayne.
Hi, Mauvis. I see
Thank you.
on there from
Angela said hi, Roger.
class.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Roger.
Okay, is this winner is from here in San Diego, so maybe one of our local customers.
No way.
And is that Mauvis?
Oh, I just said hi, Mauvis. It's Mauvis.
Mauvis Miller.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so there was really no weird thing going on there, but I just saw her comment. She's made like 3 comments, and I miss her from class. She said to bring me back there. We didn't get to spend enough time together. Well,
So I don't know for sure she pronounces it Mauvis or Mauvis. Mavis?
Is it Mavis?
I think it's Mavis. Is that correct? Mavis or Mauvis? I think it's pronounced Mavis, but congratulations, Mavis Miller.
I know who she is, and I'm giving you a big hug. So forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. Congratulations.
So she'll get an autographed clapper. And by the way, anybody who wins, on here today, please make sure you email us your name and your shipping address, and just email it to CEO@SewingMachinesPlus.com, and then I'll forward any of that to Angela for you and get it. Or you can just email Angela direct, and it's just Angela is that right? Angela at AngelaWolf.com?
No, just have him email you, and then you forward it to me.
Okay. All right. So you just email at CEO@SewingMachinesPlus.com, and we'll get it forwarded to Angela for you.
And it's
And
Mavis. You just said to correct me. It's Mavis. You had it right, Blaine.
right there. Okay. Oh, she did say I had it right?
Mm-hmm.
Mavis? Okay, great.
I probably owe you another.
And so what else are we going to give away?
So I would like to give away okay, so there's a two thing here for the next person, and one is available now and one is coming out this spring. So you and I have talked about this a lot, Blaine. I've been kind of tweaking this for a couple of years, my new virtual classes, which will launch later this spring, and any sewing machine store, any dealer can host these. And it's really good for smaller dealers that maybe only have 10 or 15 seats for a class. You have a class, I show up on the screen, and you can join me on screen. And we are going to have dealers and fabric stores all over the United States taking the same virtual class. So the next winner will receive one of my patterns in the digital format. So you can be anywhere in the whole world. And you will also receive my first digital class, which I will have to give you. I can't tell you what it is right now, but you'll be the first one that gets a freebie for that.
I know. I'm excited for you to do that, because you and I, like you said, we've been talking about this actually since, if you remember back when I would do these events, and just so everybody out there kind of explain what you and I used to do that was really cool. We would have these big events, and I would put a camera up on top of one of the speakers that you could see the whole audience. And then what program did I use?
Oh, I think
remember, Angela?
We were just using Skype, just testing that out. But
it was Skype. Everywhere. That's right. So what I would do is I would give Angela a bunch of numbers to choose from, winners, and she would pick a winner. And we would bring her up on screen at the big event, and she, would be in Michigan, and she would draw the winner for us, and you could see the crowd and hear them, and they could see you and on the big screens and hear you. And I never forget the funniest one that we ever did. You were out on a boat fishing, and so we got to see you out in your element. And so matter of fact, since we're talking right before we do this giveaway, we were talking about, we mentioned fishing a couple of times. I know one of your passions is fishing. Tell me a little bit about how you got into the fishing, and even I think you even had a reality show doing this.
We did. So my husband's been fishing since he was, I think, before he was born. But when I met him, we met in 1994, and he was carrying my sewing books onto the boat. He'd fish and I would study. And I think it's just by osmosis. Eventually, I wanted to fish with them. I just wanted to be on the boat. I didn't care and be in the sun. But I learned how to fish. We fished salmon tournaments professionally all summer from all along Lake Michigan. And we fished sailfish tournaments in the Keys, down in Almirada in the winter. So we just would go back and forth. And I think my little competitive edge or my competitive from being in sports in high school definitely comes out when we're fishing. But we've never killed each other, so we're good. But we love to fish. I just love it.
So I remember you telling me one time that you caught a fish that was this big. You just kept going. And I was like, yeah, right.
I know. That's
you
it.
Sent me a picture of this fish.
Oh, no.
We've got this picture. David, can you show this picture? I want everybody to see the size of this fish that Angie caught. And I was so impressed. I was like, the thing weighs more than you. How are you able to get this thing pulled in?
I'm afraid I don't remember what picture this was. So
You don't have that picture?
I don't think we do, Blaine.
Oh my gosh. We had a picture of you. I can't remember. I think it was maybe a tuna. It was like 75 or 80 pounds. And you'd sent that to me one time, and I was like, there is no way. I couldn't believe how big this fish was.
It probably was not 75 or 85 pounds. It just looks big.
Hey, man, that thing's huge. I don't know how. I was impressed that you were able to even hold it up to get a picture made.
That's funny. Angie says I got muscles. I try. It's my workout.
Oh my gosh, I was sitting there. That impressed me. That did. I was like, oh my gosh. So she is for real when she talks about catching these big fish.
It is. If you go to my Instagram, for those of you that are curious, I usually post fishing photos on the weekends. Try not to do it during the week.
So how did you get the reality show that you were on for a while with the fishing?
So actually, Brother was the sponsor of our fishing team, which was super cool. They did it for 2 years. And you know what's interesting is some people would say, why would Brother sponsor your fishing team? Well, I'll give you about 5 reasons that they probably didn't even think about. Every jacket we wear, every jacket that every team wears is embroidered. It has, and then you have T-shirts that are also with the scan and cut. I used all of their equipment for everything. You also have cushions on the boat. You have, everything is sewn, but the embroidery is a big one. So we have our logo on the back. Brother sponsored it for 2 years. I don't know where it is now. It might be on Amazon, but it was 5 years. So you had to win you had to be in the top 10 to be in this. Actually, the top 4 to be in this circuit they'd film us all summer. And it was a lot of fun. That show, I think it ended 2 years ago, but they're looking for new sponsors. So there you go.
I remember having to work around your reality show schedule to get you scheduled for an event that we were doing.
Well, even if I'm not on the reality show, you still have to work around my fishing schedule. That's
well,
one.
I know.
With my husband, we've got like our tournament list, and you work a lot. As an entrepreneur, you work a lot of hours. I am a major workaholic, but thankfully I can bring it on the laptop now, most of it. But the thing is, I always promise my husband, I always make sure I have time for family. So that's most important in life.
Yeah, I bet Win agrees with that, because if I do recall, last year you came to San Diego for an event with me on your anniversary.
He was all game for it.
But you did bring him with you, so I'll have to give you that.
I asked him, I said, you want me to go the week after? He said, no, that'll be fun. I'll go with you. So it was great.
Well, I still appreciate y'all doing that, because I know that, that's a special time, but at least you got to come to some beautiful weather and have a few days to kind of do an R&R while, after you did the event, and enjoy California. So we still appreciate that you took the time to come out here for that.
Oh, we had a great time. And also, Win has a lot of respect for you, and he wanted to see what was going on out in California.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to give, the next thing we're going to do is going to give the digital pattern of one of your patterns that you've designed. And then we're going to give that kind of spot that they're going to have when you launch your virtual class.
Yep.
And so, hey, Roger, we got another winner.
Yes, we do, Blaine.
And also,
Thank you, sir.
I know there's a lot of the Wolfpack on here, and many of them own a lot of my patterns. So I'm also going to give them the option. I have some new wrap dress patterns coming out March and April. So if they want to hold their spot, if they want to have one of the future patterns, they can do that too. So just to let them know.
Okay.
Hey, Blaine, we found the fish picture. Would you like to show it?
Yes, the fish picture. They found it.
Oh no.
We got to show this fish picture.
That's a big fish, Angela.
Oh
Make that big.
I forgot I sent that to you.
Everybody give Angela a big round of applause. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, and that's about, I think that one was like 20, maybe 24 pounds-ish. That's definitely not 80 pounds, but it'd be a world record.
You sent me one before. I promise you, I think you said it was 75 pounds or something.
Oh,
it's bigger than that one. It was almost the size of your body, because I remember you had 2 hands holding it, and I was like, how is she even holding this thing up?
Then it was definitely from Florida, the other one. This one's
so
from
that's one of the pictures that you'd sent me, but that's not the one I'm talking about. That's the one I'm talking about. It looked like you had this huge shark. It was so big. It was just unbelievable how big the fish was. No, and I remember seeing it. I was showing everybody. I was like, I'm impressed. Little Angela's got a fish bigger than her. She's holding up.
And then everybody gets grossed out, so I got to spray the blood off so I could hold it up. And then, so someone asked me, So you guys catch all these fish. What do you do with them? Well, of course, we eat a lot of them, but we actually, every tournament we donate the fish to a certain charity. So we stock freezers for homeless shelters and areas that, for people who want food. So we're actually fishing to give them food when it comes to like salmon and things like that, which is delicious, but we couldn't possibly eat all that. So we share, give back.
That's awesome. Okay, so we have another winner from Evansville, Indiana, and it's Susan Fischer.
Oh my gosh, Susan, congratulations. We all know Susan. She's in the wolf pack too. Good job, Susan.
Is that one of your wolf pack members?
She's in the Fashion Sewing Club, and I believe she owns every single one of my patterns. So I'm guessing she's going to want one of the future ones.
Okay. Well, we welcome everybody, all the Wolfpack members, to our Facebook Live show today. We hope everybody will join us again. I know that you've got a great, huge following of the Wolfpack, and so we always enjoy the interaction between them and us. So what else do we have to give away, Angela?
The last thing I'm giving away is a year to my Fashion Sewing Club, and then you have your fabulous thread package to give away.
Yes.
And I'm going.
All right, so we're going to give the membership to the Sewing Club. And Roger and Kyle are working on pulling the winner up right now.
Retail value of that right now is $159 a year, because everyone who got in the first year were grandfathered in. So then the club went up because it hosts all my videos, all my It's So Easy. We have the live chats. There's a couple free patterns. There's things like that. And it's going to grow and grow. It's a great community.
That's awesome. So Roger, we got a winner?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Roger.
So is that Denton, Washington?
Renton,
Washington. And it's Sandy Young.
Congratulations.
So congratulations, Sandy.
Awesome.
So is Sandy still on there?
I don't see yet.
Trying to see if I see her comment.
I saw a comment from her earlier.
Well, anyway, congratulations, Sandy, and make sure that the winners email their shipping address, their name and shipping address to CEO at Sewing Machines Plus, and we'll get all that stuff to you so you can get it shipped out. And then we got one more gift that we're giving away, and that is going to be for the Madeira thread pack. And I wish I could see how many was in here, but there are 1,100 yard rolls or spools of thread, and there's a bunch in here. I mean, this thing is heavy. So we'll set that right here.
I see Sandy.
Roger, do you have me a winner for this?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Is that New Mexico?
Yes, sir.
What's the Artesa? What is
Artesa? I believe so.
Artesa, New Mexico? I've never heard of that. That's a new place. And is it Brenda Derrick?
Yes.
Brenda Derrick from New Mexico. So congratulations, Brenda.
She just congratulated Sandy. Didn't even know that she was winning. Congrats, Brenda.
Brenda Derrick Brunson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Her last name they told me was Brenda Derrick Brunson. So Brenda Derrick Brunson is our winner, and it's from Artesia, New Mexico. So congratulations, Brenda, and make sure that all of our winners email us, to CEO at Sewing Machines Plus with their shipping address and their name, and we'll make sure we get all that stuff out to y'all. And so awesome. So Angela, what do you have planned for the next few months?
I'm really bummed. I'm going to miss VDTA because I booked too many things, but I'm going to Puyallup, which there's a huge sewing event there at the end of February. All of my classes are half of them are sold out. And this is kind of funny. I thought, well, okay, no big deal. There's 200 students in these classes. So I feel honored that 200 people in each of these classes want to come and visit me. That's a huge event at the end of the year or end of the month. And then I'm going to Atlanta, to Mel's place. and I'm going to a place in Chicago, but at Linda Z's. Those are the 3 events in person, but I have new patterns coming out next month, and the virtual classes will be starting in April. So that's a lot on my plate, but it's all awesome. I've been working hard on it, so I think it'll be great.
Well, good. And I'm hoping that, we're going to make sure that the products that we carry of yours, that we're going to make sure that we have those updated and see if we can sell more of those. And I know that I will see you in probably late July in Nashville, Tennessee,
Yes.
at the Brother Convention.
God willing.
Is that late July or 1st of August? I know it's around that sometime.
Yeah. I always forget now because we used to tape our TV show right before and right after, but the time has changed. We're taping our, believe it or not, season 20 I think it's season 20, which is 10 full years. We're celebrating 10 years in May. Can you believe that?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So.
Well, hey, we want to thank you so much, Angela. I know you're very, very busy, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on, for us. And our whole crew back here is real happy that you came aboard and got on our first show.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
And
this has
so
been.
I know you're super, super busy. Thank you so much, and hope you'll come back again.
I would love to. Thank you for having me. Say hi to everyone else behind the scenes, and thanks so much. The Wolfpack loves you, and thanks for having me.
Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, guys. Hey, what a great lady. Can't say enough about Angela. Everybody loves Angela. And, one of the things I tell people all the time is, we meet a lot of these, what we call sewing stars, the people that are on some of the sewing TV shows and that come and do the live events with you. And I'm telling you, from the very first time I met Angela, she is the most genuine, down-to-earth person you'll ever meet. And I've seen, her just go out of her way to talk to people and help them. And I know I've done some events with her where, she's, stood there for 30 minutes and, got pictures made with people and just have a conversation with them about things. And it's not an act. It is really genuine. She is truly, truly a sweet, sweet person. And we just love working with her. And so anyway, hey, we're so glad that everybody tuned in today. And I wanted to tell y'all kind of our plans. We are going to be on again on February the 20th. And we got another great guest coming on. We have Nathan who's a national sales manager for Grace Sewing Company. And he's going to be on here, and we're going to talk about some of the new products that Grace has coming out. We're going to have some specials. And we've got one incredible giveaway that we're going to give away live from people who are just making comments that are on the show. We're giving a $1,500 value. It's a Grace hoop frame. And the Grace hoop frame is basically, you can do quilting on it with any domestic machine. So you can take any domestic sewing machine you have, and it'll actually fit on this frame, and you could do some hooping. And it's not a big, huge quilt frame like you think. I think it's about 5 feet wide. So for somebody who's want to get into quilting, this would be an incredible, incredible product. And so we're going to give one of those away on air for anybody who joins our show. And that's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Central time on February the 20th. And that's again on a Thursday. And that'll be 2 weeks from today. And we hope everybody will join us. And if y'all need any help with any of your sewing related items, feel free to give us a call at our, or go to our website. We have a big staff of customer service agents and online salespeople that are very, very knowledgeable about sewing related products. And you can give them a call. They'd be happy to help you answer any questions you have. We have a chat team that if you go on our website, you can actually chat. All 5 people that we have on our chat team are all basically professional sewers, people who have, a big variety of sewing background, and they're digitizers, embroiderers, quilters. And so we have that at our disposal. And then we have probably one of the best tech departments in the country. We have a bunch of certified technicians that are certified in every brand out there, and to help you with any needs you have with your machines. And we are the biggest long arm dealer in the country for quilting machines. And that seems to be the biggest learning curve with customers that we have out there. So we have some guys that are dedicated to the telephone that can help troubleshoot any kind of problem you have with your long arm quilters, embroidery machines, or just sewing machines. So we're here to help. We hope that y'all will join us again in 2 weeks. And if you have any questions, again, go to our website. And we have our 800 number on there as well that you can call. And if you're local, if you're within, 100 miles or so of San Diego, we have 2 big retail superstores here that are just full of product. And we have a great staff on board that are very knowledgeable as well. And if you haven't been to our stores, our stores are 10,000 square feet superstores. They're beautiful. And we have huge classrooms in them. So we have classes going on. Just about every day there's some sort of class going on. And then we also have these big events in them, as well, where we bring people in kind of like Angela Wolf that will come in and do an event for us. So you can get all that through our Facebook page as well. We list all of our events on our Facebook page. And then we'll also, if you sign up for our newsletter, we send a lot of information out via email. And so you can get all that kind of information there. You can also, just go to our website. We have an events tab that you can look, and classes tab. And then, but if you sign up for our email, you'll get all of our specials that we do. We send a lot of specials and different products out every week. And so if you're not a shopper with Sewing Machines Plus yet, we would love to, earn your business. And we want you part of our family. So again, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in today. Hope y'all enjoyed learning a little bit about Angela Wolf. And seeing some of the products, and we're going to have more of that to come. So again, if you're a winner today, please email to CEO@SewingMachinesPlus.com your name and shipping address. And then if you can, mark down on your calendar February 20th. It's going to be 11 p.m. Central. 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Central Time. It's 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Pacific Time. I'm sorry. And it's hard to get these time zones straight. But anyway, make sure you make a note on your calendar to join us, because Nathan at Grace is a wealth of information. They have a ton of products. We're their largest dealer in the United States, and we've got a great giveaway for that. That's going to be an incredible giveaway. And we're going to have some other little things that we're going to throw in as well. So hope y'all enjoyed it. For me and everybody here at Sewing Machines Plus, thank y'all, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.